We got some people here online, some people here in the office. Bring it in, guys. Don't be shy. Let's go with some positive focus. Let's think about this past week. What are you feeling good about, business-wise, personal? Any shout outs you want to give to anybody on the team? Let's get a few examples, a few shares. What do we got?
Go ahead.
Sorry, the shout out.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I wanted
Well,
to shout out too.
Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to shout out Tina and Brendan, just because whenever we post open house opportunities, especially when a property's been on the market for some time, agents feel like, oh, it's been on, it's going to be slow. And just for putting yourself out there, and the activity was great. And I'm just really thankful that you guys hopefully are able to pick up some buyers. It sounds like it was good. Dina had 4 groups. Brendan, I think, had 5 groups, and perfect.
Nice.
So I just want to share that just to encourage our agents to sign up. And right now is the time. We are definitely seeing a little shift in the market. So thank you guys, and kudos. Yeah, thank you so much.
Let's go. Let's give it up for that, guys. Good job. Good job. What else do we got? Let's go. Some positive focus, shout outs.
I want to give a shout out to my boy Mark, top producer, guys. I think it's awesome. You know, him just having, getting married, buying the house, having the baby, and still producing at a high level. So I just really want to shout that out. It just shows that, if you put your mind to it, put in the work, it's going to happen. So great job, Mark.
Shout out to Blanca as well. Top producer, top 5% of the county. Guys, that's out of 6,000, like 6,000 agents in our MLS, right? And so to make it on that list of, the top producers, top 10%, 5% is definitely a nice accomplishment. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
No,
Yeah.
Shout out to you too. And I'm glad to see more and more of our team just, being out there. So maybe this year we'll show up for the gala.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be nice for us to be out there.
I think it's in April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of colleagues that are out there as well, and just recognizing some of the names. So I'm just excited for this year. I know there's going to be a lot more of us. Yeah.
Awesome. 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 All right. Let's get one more, guys. One more share. What are you feeling good about this week? Something positive. Brendan, talk to me.
I'm excited. I'm getting the one buyer that's actually interested in that unit, Blancos.
Okay.
So they're looking to maybe put an offer in off of that. And then also Mark had an appointment for me to go out on while he was in Tahoe. And it looks like we're going to get those 2 guys also in a buyer broker contract as well.
Nice.
And I might have a third coming from Southern California. So I might have 3 in some.
Nice.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good momentum.
good stuff. Good stuff. That's awesome, guys. I'm glad to see you guys, putting in the work and starting to see some of the, fruits of your labor there. Just remember right now, guys, it's picking up right now, right? Springtime. We're going to be in spring before you know it. And that's when the market picks up. You know what I mean? So I know I've said this the last couple of weeks, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the meeting, but take advantage. Right now is when you should be going pedal to the metal right now, because the people that you talk to now are the ones who are going to transact in the next month or 2, right? And so you got to start closing all those loops right now. And so let's move into a couple things, guys, just some of the housekeeping stuff. And then we got a couple guests on today as well. So just looking at some of our numbers, guys, a little over 17 million closing pending so far for the year. We got 5 listings that are active right now. We got 8 listings that are coming soon. So far for the month, we got about 8 new deals that came in, 4 contracts, 4 pending contracts and 4 signed listings. And I know there's a couple more that are floating around. I've had some one-on-ones with some of our agents, and there's a lot of offers going out right now, and even deals for signature. And then Rob, I think you got a listing signed too, right? Okay, so I don't think that one's in here yet either. So that'll be 5 listings signed. That puts us at 9. Yeah, there's a couple more that just haven't been submitted yet. So those numbers are probably a little bit higher. Luis is closing on a deal this week. Let's go, Luis. Good stuff, man. So all in all, guys, just a lot of momentum right now, right? We got to just ride on this momentum. The leads are coming in, right? Leads are coming in. People are raising their hands. Old leads are being resurrected. Yesterday, between our ISAs, we set 10 appointments just yesterday, right? And so we have a team of 5 ISAs now, 4 of them that are prospecting for real estate and mortgage opportunities, and then one of them that's prospecting for agent partners who want to partner with us. And so they booked 10 appointments just in one day, right? And they're working 5 days a week. So we're just kind of like how Jason and I mentioned before, our ISA team is going to start teeing up a lot of opportunity, which means we need everybody out here to step up, right? Because right now there's only like a handful of people who are getting those, but then even they're busy right now, right? We're trying to start like with our top agents first and then kind of work our way down. But even any of our up and coming agents, that's an opportunity for you to step up and take advantage of some of those opportunities. We just added 2 more agents to that group who I feel can handle some of those appointments. So Luis is now part of that group, getting some of those opportunities. And then so is George as well, right? Just because they've closed some deals, they know the presentations, they know how to talk to clients. And so we want to make sure that we're teeing up those opportunities for the right agents. But that doesn't mean that anybody else cannot be added to that group, right? And so it's really going to come from you guys, right? As you guys show us like, hey, we know how to show homes. We know how to, do the presentation. We know how to write offers. We know how to do consultations. We're all in on our business.
And we're also utilizing FUB.
Yeah, utilizing the tools as well, right? Because we can't track it, right? Like if we give you an appointment and you're calling outside of FUB, we can't track if you called it, right? So as long as you're like following the process and following the system and we see that you're committed, then we're going to want to push opportunity your way, because there's going to get, if they're booking 10 appointments in a day times 5, that's 50 appointments in a week. There's no way we can only have 50 appointments going to like a handful of people. They won't be able to handle.
With Zillow Flex.
And that's, that's separate from the Zillow leads coming in, open house leads you guys are getting on your own. There's your own SOI, your own referrals. There's just a lot of opportunity coming from our database right now, right? So we do need people to step up. Just imagine like if you had 3 or 4 appointments every week being set for you. Plus you're getting Zillow stuff, plus you're working open houses, plus you're marketing yourself to your friends and family, right? Your pipeline can get full really, really fast. Right. So that's the goal. Looking at the inventory, guys, just kind of a quick pulse of the market. So this week, inventory's gone up a little bit. There were a lot of people who were out on ski week and on vacation and stuff. So, but we still saw an increase in SFRs. We're at 946 SFRs in Santa Clara County, up from 917 last week. Townhouse and condo is at 753. And then pending sales has climbed up as well, 548 and 335. So you can see week over week, guys, inventory is going up, pending sales are going up, right? That's your data right there. That's your proof that, hey, the market is starting to heat up, which means you now need to be the one talking to everybody about that, right? When people are saying, how's the market, right? I saw you put a video out today, right? So shout out to Tom for putting a video out. How's the market, Tom? It's rising, right? So if someone asks you, how's the market, what are you telling them? It's getting hot, right? What are you telling them about inventory?
It's definitely building, but they gotta watch out for that competition too.
There you go, right? Like it's just simple stuff, guys. It doesn't have to be too complicated, but you need to have a pulse on the inventory. You need to have a pulse on how many people are getting in contract, right? And where it's at today compared to where it was at a few weeks ago, right? And then use that to kind of say, hey, now might be the right time, to make a move before more buyers even come out of the woodworks, right? And stuff like that. So the inventory, guys, use it as a tool to craft your conversations. Use it as a tool to educate your buyers and sellers, and be able to move people forward in the right, and in the right direction. Any questions so far, guys, just on the production, on the inventory, anything like that? Pretty straightforward. Okay. Let's see. Vina, you had a question, all right? You had a question earlier. You said you wanted to ask it. I said, why don't you ask it in the team meeting?
Yeah.
Because then we might be able to help you out even better.
So, last weekend, I actually went to my first open house. And this open house was a Fremont.
Okay.
And the listing agent actually lives in Modesto. And he's not coming to the open houses. He's not doing it all. So just by chance, I called him and I said, hey, I can help you with open houses. And he just jumped on it. He said, yeah, I recently had a surgery and I cannot go. Can you do it? I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then I went there. There are a couple of things I observed. One is that this listing agent is not going to do much for that guy. So this guy was actually doing open house himself. as a home owner,
The seller?
he
Oh, wow.
was listing first, and obviously nothing happened. So then he said a lot of listing agents, a lot of agents, realtors started showing up. So he picked up the one who's asking for the least. And the one who's asking for the least is not the one who's going to do anything. That's what my feeling is.
Yeah.
So he's just looking for people who can show houses, and if something clicks, then clicks. And I also feel that he has put the property on a very higher range.
Okay.
It's not worth what it is. And the house is a very unique position because this guy has converted the house into 3 segments. So main house and then 2 ADUs. So even the main house, he has part of the house he's converted into ADU. It can be converted into a single unit
Okay.
and an ADU.
What would your question be?
So the question is, I want to see if I can convert that guy to list with me rather than with that guy. Because I don't think the house is going to go soon.
Yeah.
With the way it is put on the market with the guy who's the listing agent. So how should I go about it? I want to be prepared talking to that client. And is it ethically okay? First of all, and how do I go?
Who can give Venus some advice on that?
David, can you mute?
Anybody? Blanca, go ahead. Give her some advice.
I understand where you're coming from, right? From the place of you want to help out the client.
Exactly.
I would just maybe ask how much longer he's willing to continue working with his agent and if they're open to a second opinion.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you get a lead come in and they say, I already have an agent.
Yeah.
Well, you're still asking, be open to a second opinion.
Yeah.
And then you can definitely say there's nothing that we can do until that listing is canceled or it expires, but I can at least give you some information on myself, my company, and how we can assist.
Yeah. You got to tread lightly because he's in a contract, right? So it's not ethical to prospect someone who's already in an agreement, right? You would have to wait for their agreement to expire before you can start prospecting that person now, right? So, but what you can do is you can just be of value, right? Just be of value. If you're there and you're working the open house and just show him who you are rather than telling him, right? From the way you show up, from the way you host the open house, from the advice and all that stuff. But just make sure you make it clear, like, hey, I'm just an independent agent. You have your agent. But hey, if anything changes down the line, I'd be happy to chat with you at that time. Right? Yeah. Because you don't want to get in trouble or get like an ethics complaint or something like that. Right? But
if he happens to tell the agent, hey, I'm gonna, work with you now, or I'd like to approach, he may think that you're, coaching on the client or something.
yeah.
Like Enrique said, you just have to be careful.
Yeah, be careful. Good question though, guys, right? I mean, you're out there, you're going to talk to buyers and sellers who have an agent, right? But they're obviously not getting the service that they deserve. And so you just got to tread lightly, right? Let them know, hey, you're here if they ever want a second opinion once they finish off their relationship with that agent, right? Now it's different, just to be clear, it's different if a client calls you, right? Because if the client is the one initiating the call, all right, then the rules are a little bit different because the client is the one who took the first step of calling the other agent. I've had clients call me, hey, I want to talk to you about listing my property, but I'm already working with this other agent. What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. So since they're calling me, I can kind of give them some general information of what they have to do. But they can't say I poached them because the client's the one who called me, right? Now, if I'm calling a client that has an agent, then that agent can say, hey, you're trying to poach my client, basically. Right. So,
And in this scenario, it sounds like you actually reached out to the real estate agent,
yeah.
right? And the real estate agent referred you to a client.
Yeah.
Now you're building this relationship.
Yeah. So now you gotta be careful with that one. Yeah. Okay. Good question though, guys.
And I think it really just points out, Enrique, it just really points out why it's important. Like the way we train our agents, you guys have so much value, so many tools, right? You're going to train really well. You've only been with us for a couple of weeks, and immediately you can recognize that potential seller is not getting the value they deserve. Right. So I want us to really have that confidence when you're approaching buyers and sellers that you do have this value that you can add.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when you just show someone consistent value, they're gonna come to the conclusion themselves, right? You don't have to be the one to say like, hey, fire your agent. Like, if you're being valuable, they may think like, man, what am I doing? This, they're gonna see it, right? You know, and the light bulb goes off. So just be careful with that. Okay, let's move forward, guys. Let's see. What I wanted to do, we went over kind of the production above. I want to just do kind of a quick pipeline check. And this is something I'm going to start just incorporating each week, just a quick pulse of where you guys are at with your hot clients. I know I had you guys post something, I think it was like last week. Since we are approaching the end of the month, we got, you know, a few more days. And so just if you guys can go into Slack and just drop in there, how many hot clients do you have right now? Anything that can maybe come up within this next week that you think you can get in contract, either sign a listing or you have offers out, things that can potentially go into contract to close off this month strong. So just go into Slack right now and just post whatever your number is. 1 buyer, 2, 3, 4, 0, whatever that might be.
I'm sorry, what is the criteria that they can get in contract in the next, what, 7
Next
days?
4 days, right? Because we have 4 days basically, right? To end this month, right? This month only has 28 days. Believe that. It's like fast, right?
So Sunday, I think is Sunday or Saturday?
What would that be?
March 1st.
Yeah. So by Saturday, right? You got until Saturday. Do you have anything hot right now that can get in by Saturday? And if you don't, that's fine. Maybe your stuff's going to roll over into the next month, but I at least want to get a pulse of what you guys are working on. So Patrick has 2, Richa 1, Matt 1, George 1, Shri 1, Nicho 1, Mark 1 possible listing, 2 buyers. Okay, so there's some stuff right there. And if you don't have anything, that's fine. You could just put a 0 is fine. But this at least gives us a pulse of kind of where we're at for the month. All right, all right. Jay, did you have any of those Zillow stuff to pull up?
So we have, you want to share mine?
Yeah, so Jason's going to share his screen. We're going to touch on just really quickly on some of our Zillow metrics, right? That's something I talked about, we're going to start incorporating into our meetings just to give people a pulse of where we're at with Zillow.
So you can see, what I did basically was did a filter to see how many leads we received within the last 30 days from Zillow. So we have 98 buyers that came in, and we have 20 new sellers that came in.
So 98 plus 20?
Yeah, so a little less than 120 buyers and sellers that came in directly from Zillow. Okay. And so what I was looking at was the ones that I see that are low hanging fruit are the ones that we have just spoken to, right? Those are the ones that we need to continue to follow up to either move them over into like a nurture or set an appointment or meet with them, right? So we put a filter in stage. Let's see. So just in that we have 40.
Yeah, change your screen. Share that screen.
So it's 40, right? And that's on the buyer side, meaning that these leads have came in and it's left in the spoken to stage, right? So we need to go ahead and move those over either to a nurture or start setting an appointment or meeting, right? I see that probably see the low hanging fruit. And if you look at some of these, they are recently on our site. These clients here they've recently been having activity on our site, and we haven't moved them to the next stage.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, just looking at that, right? Like, where are your low hanging fruit? Brand new leads that came in within the last 30 days that are active on the site, right? If they're active on the site, that's showing you signals that they are looking around, right? So if they're still in the spoken to stage, we got to get clear on what the disposition is with those, right? Are you still trying to book an appointment? Are you not? Is that a nurture? Did you set an appointment? Did you actually meet with them, but you still left it in the spoken to stage, right?
Yeah. And I think the other thing that we have to allow our agents to understand, you guys have to understand that you can also tag one of the ISAs to help you follow up.
Yep.
right? So if you need assistance with one of your leads or your opportunity, tag the ISA, maybe give them some background on it, see if they can help you re-engage that opportunity.
Yeah. The ISAs, yeah. So just because not everybody has access or knows the ISAs yet, but those are some of our inside sales agents. They're like our callers that we have
Ones that are set in appointment.
that are set in appointments. And so if you guys have a relationship with that, or if you're in that group, you can tag them.
I mean, if you're receiving the Zillow Flex opportunity, they're already calling somebody. You guys can see them calling your opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. So this is another way to say, hey, listen, if you need help with following up with them, you can go ahead and tag them and ask them to go ahead and reach out.
Yeah. But I would only, so I do want to put an asterisk on that, right? I would only do that like, so here's the thing. If you have 0 deals, right, nothing going on. I'm going to just keep it real, right? And be blunt. Is that okay? Just be transparent and honest. All right. If you have 0 deals and 0 in the pipeline, you don't have any business asking someone else to call your leads, right? Now, if you're extremely busy, like you're someone like Blanca, where she got like 5 buyers she's working with, she got multiple listings on the market, she's swamped with her business, then she would be someone who has earned her way to have some leverage added in there, right? So you first have to do the work yourself before you start asking other people to do the work for you, right? And so I just want to make sure that's clear, because I don't want it to be like a free for all where it's like, hey, I'm not calling, I just want someone else to make my calls for me, right? That wouldn't be fair, right? So always get busy first, and then if you're like maxed out and you need our help, come to us and let us know. And then at that point, we can figure out a way to help you. Because I already know if you came to Jason, you're like, hey, can the ISAs call my leads? The first thing he's going to do is see how many calls you made. And if your calls are like very little, he's going to say, right? I just want to clarify that, right?
Thank you for clarifying that, because again, I noticed, I'll use Blanca. Blanca, she manages her pipeline. 1, she's doing her follow-up here.
Yeah.
2, when she gets busy, she will pause herself or she'll let me know to pause.
Yeah.
Right? If she goes out of town, she's telling me, Jason, pause me, I'm out of town.
Yeah.
Right. So she's protecting her database, protecting the leads. And then obviously if Blanca needs help, she can go ahead and ping one of the ISAs. But thank you for clarifying that. If you don't have any business, let's get really good at start setting some
Yeah, pick up the phones.
I don't want to
Yeah.
have a free fall. Thank you.
Yeah. But you mentioned something too, like, and we're using Blanca as an example, that she'll let us know that she's too busy and she'll pause herself, right? So that's the other thing too. If you're swamped, guys, and you need to be pause yourself, right? Because you're not helping out the team by taking more leads and you can't service them, right? So take as many as you could service, and then it's okay to pause yourself for a bit, and then you can get back on when you free up, right?
That gives up opportunity for
That,
others.
that was just something that I was gonna comment on.
Yeah.
Is I have been bumming myself
Yeah.
quite frequently because, one, I don't want to jeopardize our quota and our data for Zillow.
Mhm.
And secondly, it opens up for other opportunity
Mhm.
and stuff, not just to be left unattended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an abundance mindset, right? Having an abundance mindset, if we're getting, 120 opportunities a month, there's going to be enough to go around, guys, right? For everybody to get their fair share. There's going to be seasons where like someone may be really busy and they can't take them. And then that's your season where you can step in, right? So I just do want to reiterate that, guys. We want to protect, this is something that I got from another team leader, is something like Zillow, right? This is an asset, guys, right? This is like an account that generates a lot of revenue. So we do need to protect the asset, right? It's not about, feelings or favoritism or anything like that. It's about doing what's going to be best for the production, and the success of the program, so that's something that we're really going to start leaning into, is just monitoring, like, who doesn't have enough opportunity, try to fill them up, who has too many opportunities, and maybe they got to be paused for a little bit, right? And kind of playing that balance game, right? So that we're all thriving. Any questions, guys, on any of this?
A question about the Zillow leads.
Yep.
So if we get a call and they want to see that at 4 p.m. If we opt to say, sorry, can't make this time, does that hurt our numbers as an individual?
Who can help answer that, guys, for Matt? That's a
You
good
answer
question.
it, but you can't really take the lead.
Who knows the role play on that?
What would you say in that situation, Mark?
So you get a Zillow Flex call and you can't make the time that they're requesting.
Haven't even spoken to them yet. It's an option to end the call. Right. Like you pick up the call, but it's like, hey, I can't make that time. So why even take the call? Obviously, you know, there's some incentive to take.
Or just claim the lead and then reach out to them and see when, just say the property's not available to see at the time and then what other time works for them.
Yeah, I've done that numerous times. It's just sometimes people don't even want to speak. They prefer to be like text message, whatever.
Yeah.
Text them back. Exactly what Mark said. Just text them, hey, I received your request to tour this property. Unfortunately, 4 PM is not available. Is there another day and time that's best?
Yeah, maybe a different scenario. Let's just say let's just say it's a manufactured home, like 200K. It's like not worth your energy potentially, right? Does that hurt our numbers to say like, oh, hey, can't make that time?
Well, I'll give you some feedback on that.
Yeah.
I've taken tons of manufactured leads.
Mhm.
And I never reject it. And of those, some have turned into a townhome condo. Or they themselves realize they don't qualify for it because they have no knowledge about it. You have to do the right thing, educate the client. They may not even know that that's not something that they may qualify for, or they may not even know they qualify for something different. And that's kind of where your role comes in to guide them and educate them and see what they're really looking for.
I think maybe my question is maybe I'm a little off a little bit of what I'm trying to ask.
Because those are two different scenarios.
Yeah, they are.
One of them is
Yeah.
it worth my while? And one of them is I'm not available at that time, right? So which one's the real question? Valid questions though, valid questions.
That's a lie. I never rejected it. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm looking more specifically in like the analytics of like, hey, when I get this, I'm looking at my phone, and a reason why I can't take this lead is because, hey, I can't make the time.
Yeah.
So I don't even take on the call.
Yeah, everything,
Like the way the Zillow.
It does affect your numbers because, I mean, and again, they want you to take the calls if you're available to take the call, right?
Yeah.
Now, like Mark said, like even if it says 4 o'clock, I'm still trying to, you're a competitor, right? So for me, I look at like, I'm going to make something happen. Maybe I can't meet them at 4, but I can meet them at 6.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, does it affect your numbers? Does your numbers? Yes, it will affect your numbers because if Zillow attempted to try you 10 times and you didn't answer those 10, it's going to say 10 attempts, zero connection, 0 answers.
Yeah.
So in the long run, yes, it will. But that being said, if you're in the middle of something and you can't take that call, it's okay to. But now that becomes a habit.
That's more like
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, but if it becomes a habit of you missing all these opportunities, then it does look negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at Disneyland, we're in line, I'm getting a call, I'm like, oh, I can't, I had to, sorry, can't meet that appointment.
Yeah, if you're at, so that's the thing.
why I paused.
Yeah, if you're at Disneyland,
Yeah.
and like, hey, I can't service this client, then just don't answer the call. That's fine.
But better yet, pause.
Because you're not at Disneyland every weekend, right? That's, yeah, and-
But I want to go back. Better yet, pause yourself or let me know to pause.
Yeah.
Right? I pause you. Once I see that you're out of town, immediately pause you. When I see Mark was out of town, I immediately pause you.
So here's the trick to that, guys. If you know you're gonna be out of town and you off yourself, you have to extend it every 24 hours. If you know you're gonna forget, you're gonna be busy, which happens because it's happened to me, then just call Jason and say, Jason, pause me for X amount of days.
Yeah.
That way you're not worried about it and you're
Enjoy
doing
your
your
time.
thing, you're enjoying
Yeah,
your time, because it will happen. Sometimes I'll forget that it expired and then I get the call and I'm like, darn, I need to take it, right?
Yeah.
Because I forgot to pause myself. But if you know
Yeah.
you're gonna be out for a couple days, just have decent pause.
and then the other thing to keep in mind, guys, little one-offs here and there, that's not gonna blow your numbers up, right? If it's a consistent thing in a consistent pattern, that's gonna hurt your numbers.
Yeah, there's some mystique in like, you get
Yeah.
the lead call, and, oh, what is it, so. Even if you are busy, you're like, you want to see what's going on.
Yeah, but, so that's, to answer that, right? That answers that of just being available. But the other question of like, whether it's a mobile home or whether it's not worth your while, remember, guys, I don't know if you guys heard the story of, there was a Zillow lead that came in, it was on a different team, and it was for a piece of land for like 300,000, right? And the guy took the lead and it ended up turning into a $7 million deal. Because they were looking for a piece of land in like Los Altos to build a new construction. Turns out that they didn't want to go through the whole thing of building a new construction, so they opted to just go buy something for $7 million. And that came from a $300,000 land lead from Zillow, which most people would like, "Ah, I don't want this," right? So just remember, sometimes people click on a property because maybe it intrigues them or that was the carrot, but then you talk to them and you discover that that's not even what they're looking for, right? And so it's like when someone goes to an open house, are they going to buy that house if they go to an open house? What's the chances of them buying that same house that they go to the open house at? It's rare, right? What's the chances of them buying the house that they clicked on initially for Zillow? It's very rare, right? So if I were you, I would look at the big picture and I would take as many as I can service and then do a great job with every single one and try to point them in the right direction. And then maybe you talk to them, maybe you consult them, maybe you determine you're not the best fit, but you still give them a lot of value and you say, hey, I'm going to refer you over to this person because this person can help you. Now you have a great relationship. You still get the client still feels good, like you service them. They may refer you other clients, right? Has anybody ever had that where you got a referral from a lead that you didn't help out? Right? It happens a lot, right? So think big picture, guys, with this, right?
Opportunity to perform.
Yeah, opportunity to perform, lifetime value of having more people in your database.
And like Mark said, she can give you a handful of examples. We've done deals, even SOIs, they inquire on a mobile home, we convert them to an SFR or not.
Jose, you had raised your hand, brother. Sorry, I know we got sidetracked. Did you have something? You good?
No, you guys went over like the question that Matt had about the rescheduling. So basically just try to figure out a different time.
Yeah, it's okay to reschedule, guys. It's okay, like, because a lot of them will choose a time, 12 o'clock, and sometimes you get that lead and it's already 11. So all you got to say is, hey, you know what? That's just that, I haven't got a hold of the seller, or is there an alternate time that you're available? Give me 2 different times and I'll try to make one work, right? Or hey, 12 o'clock's not available, but 4 o'clock is because that's when you're available. Does that work for you? Oh, no, that doesn't work for me. How about tomorrow? What works for you tomorrow? And so that's more of a sales script there, right? And so don't get out scripted, guys. Don't get out scripted by the client saying they can only meet at this time on a rainy Tuesday. You're getting out scripted if you can't navigate that, right? Do your job to coordinate, right?
Yeah, and I just answer it because a lot of the times, even that noon ask for at 11 o'clock isn't even what they're really asking for. They're like, oh, I didn't mean to click that exact time or day. Like, can we meet this weekend? And that's happened to me so many times. Where they're like, no, this isn't really the time I want to meet. I actually want to meet on the weekend, or I want to meet Friday afternoon at 3 or.
Yeah, you could always say, hey, the sellers haven't got back to me.
Yeah. Blame it on the seller, right? Okay, good stuff, guys. These are good conversations, right? Because these are real life scenarios that you guys are running into, since you got to know how to navigate these, right? It's going to help you guys win. I'm going to turn it over, guys, to a few minutes. We have a guest, my buddy Greg Mendoza. So he's one of our partners through GFI, which is one of our partner companies that we do business with. They offer a bunch of financial service products, insurance, and stuff like that. So I just wanted Greg to introduce himself. Some of you guys have met Ariocha, right? We're all part of the same group. So Greg, Ariocha, neither, they're all part of the same clique there. And so Greg is going to be like a go-to person for collaboration. So I just wanted him to just spend a couple minutes and kind of introduce himself and talk about some of the opportunities to help out our clients. Greg, talk to us, brother.
What's up, guys? What's up, Enrique? What's up, Jason? What's up, David? See you there. Where's the camera, David?
What's going on? What's going on? Don't work right now.
No excuses, man. No. What's going on, guys? So I had the pleasure. I met some of you. Some of you I did. Hey, Blanca. I see Blanca there. So today I want to share with you how to marry, right? Real estate with financial services, but in a way where it's natural, where it's ethical, where it's powerful, right? So we as realtors, we are phenomenal, right? At helping families buy a home, sell a home. But here's the truth that most people don't talk about. We're helping them get the house, but we're not always helping them protect their house, right? And because of that, we're leaving 2 things on the table. Income, right? Imagine helping someone get a home. It pays you $15,000, $17,000 in commission, but now you're able to get an additional $10,000 or $12,000 in commission off that same deal, right? Or we're not having that impact on a family and fully protecting, going above and beyond for our clients. You see, when a family is buying a home, their emotions are high, yeah? It's one of the biggest financial decisions of their lives, right? So here's a simple question to ask, right? Mr. and Mrs. Client, if something were to happen to you, would this home still be paid for? Also, how long would your family survive without your income being present? And then let it sit in, right? That's where mortgage protection would come in, one of our services. If that breadwinner doesn't make it home one day, that home gets paid off. No foreclosure, no GoFundMe, no financial collapse, right? So for us, it's not about selling insurance. It's protecting the dream that we just helped them buy. Right, Enrique?
Yep.
You see, we all know people who are doing well financially. Nice home, good job, successful career. But when tragedy hits, their family is left scrambling, right? Life insurance is not about death, guys. Excuse me. It's about making sure that when someone passes, that family doesn't lose their house, doesn't lose their lifestyle, and doesn't lose their peace. You see, us as realtors, we're already having those trusted conversations. We're already talking about income, about debt, about assets, right? You can share with your client, say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Client, part of responsible home ownership is making sure your home is protected no matter what happens. So let me go ahead and connect you with someone on our team who can walk you through that. So just an additional service. And plus that makes you stand out. Now you're a full spectrum realtor and you get more deals, you get more business, right? You see, most homeowners, they don't think about things like probate court. If someone passes away without a living trust, what happens to that property? They go to probate, there's time, legal fees, stress, court. But when they have a living trust and a will in place together, that home transfers directly to their beneficiaries. No court, no drama, no delay, right? You see, guys, we work so hard to help them acquire that asset. Why not help them protect it? Why not help them protect the transfer of that asset to their family the right way without any court, right? Now, some of you guys may have older clients. Another service that we do is retirement planning, right? Retirement strategies. People have 401ks, 403bs, 457s, military has TSP. Those type of accounts are directly exposed to the market. And when some of our older clients who are 59 and a half and older, their money has a new job. It's not to gamble anymore. It's to protect what they already built. So in financial services, Jason, we show them strategies where they don't lose money no matter what the market does. Their money grows safely. They get a predictable check during retirement when they most need it. And in some cases, they can get tax-free retirement income for life. Imagine guys sitting at a kitchen table, right, closing with your client, and you say, hey, by the way, Mr. and Mrs. Client, when was the last time someone reviewed your retirement plan to make sure your home and your lifestyle are protected long-term? Imagine that. That's value, that's advice, that's priceless, and that's next level service. So bottom line, guys, real estate is the transaction. Financial services is the transformation. And when you combine both, three things are going to happen. You increase your income, you deepen your client loyalty, and you truly protect the families that you're already serving. It's not about being pushy, it's about being protected. Because every client has a mortgage, has a retirement account, needs protection, has a future estate issue that's waiting to happen. So the only question is, will you be a full service realtor who really cares for their client and protects them 360, right? So let's not just be realtors. Let's win long-term. Let's help them build wealth. Let's stop leaving money on the table. Let's stop leaving families exposed. And let's make PRG a real estate business that protects, that grows, and that becomes #1 office in real estate and financial services.
Let's go. All right, bro. You got me pumped up right now.
Let's go, man. Come on, we're trying to win or not.
Yeah, guys. So Greg is part of EXP, just so you guys know, right? So Greg's part of our downline at EXP. so he's in real estate and financial services, so he does both. Jason and I partnered with GFI last year, right? So we're both licensed in insurance as well, but we realized that we can't do it all, right? Like we have a lot of stuff on our plate. And so rather than us trying to dip our hands in everything, we partner with people who do it full time, right? So this is what Greg does day in, day out. And so he's going to be one of our go-to partners, him, Ariocha, right? There's all kinds of different products that they have. And so all we need to do is just, talk about these things. If you want to get involved in this, you don't have to, but it's definitely an option, right? That I would encourage so that you can look out for your clients, right? And we're never going to, I know Greg, he's never going to push anything on a client. It's always just kind of understanding what their situation is. And if there's a recommendation that he can do and it helps the client out, then, he'll offer that particular product, right? And then because Jason and I are licensed, you guys can get compensated if anything comes about from those, right? So now if you wanted to get licensed yourself and get involved and be able to get compensated more, that's an option as well. You guys could come talk to me on the side, but we already have the relationship set up through us, right? To make that happen where you don't have to do anything. It just depends how involved you want to get, right? I know how important these things are, right? Because I have them, right? We have, wills, trusts, life insurance. Jason and I have life insurance on each other. Just FYI, right? Because we're business partners. If something were to happen to one of us and we both run the company, that's going to put us in a situation, right? So we have something called key person life insurance. There's a lot of different products out there, guys, that can apply to specific situations. So keep your eyes open, talk to your clients, think about this as one more service or resource that you have in your arsenal, right? And when you see an opportunity, bring it up, and then you guys can connect them with the appropriate person at GFI, right? Any questions, guys, for Greg? Yes.
If you want to learn more about the product so that we can smartly talk to the
Mhm.
clients, then should I reach out to Greg?
Yeah, great question. So Vina said if she wants to learn more about the products, should she reach out to you? Or maybe we can host like a separate training for anybody who wants to just kind of get educated more on this. And we can have Greg come on, maybe Ariocha come on too. We've had them in our office before, but there's a lot of information, right? So we'll put something together as a separate training, right? I think that would be a great idea. And just knowing what to look for, guys. And for some of us, it might even you may look at your own situation and be like, dude, I need this for my situation, right? So yeah, any other questions, guys, for Greg? So you guys will be seeing Greg, he's just going to pop in our meetings once in a while, right? Just to kind of keep us up to date on what's going on with him and, just to be a resource to you guys. Yeah.
Hey, Greg, hear me?
Yeah, Greg can hear you.
Hey, Greg, do you know Edgar Diaz and Sisma?
Say that again.
Do you know Edgar Diaz and Sisma?
Edgar Diaz and Sisma. Don't think so. I gotta see the face.
Okay, no, that's fine. No, they're brother-in-law, sister-in-law. They're part of GFI. And
Okay.
yeah, they're like heavy hitters into that. So just wondering.
Yeah, it's it's a lot of agents. How many agents are in GFI now?
60,000.
60,000 across the US, right? And other states as well. I mean, other countries. Melody, you had a question?
Just wondering, the living trust product, living trust and will that you talked about, is that something that's available in other states? Or are we talking only California here?
All 50 states. Yeah. The only one that is a little tricky is New York.
Okay. I'll touch base with you separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put Greg's contact info, guys, in the chat as well after we're done. And then Greg's, made a commitment to start popping in on some of our Tuesday meetings just to be here to answer questions. Richa, question?
Just a quick question is, in the living trust, is it a standard fee or percentage of the property going in there?
Say it again. You're kind of breaking up. I heard living trust and something what?
Yeah. How is it charged? How's the fee structure on a living trust?
Yeah. So there's two different routes we can take. You can go, you can go ethos, right? You open up a term policy with ethos and the estate planning tools come with it free. Or you can go through one of our affiliates called Prime. And that I believe that's like around a little short than $900. You get all of the living trust. They do all the documentation for you. So there's different routes depending on budget, depending on the goal of the trust.
Thank you.
And so Ethos is one of the insurance companies. So they have like a bonus where if you do insurance through them, they'll give you the trust stuff for free because you're a customer with them, right? So you kind of get the 2-in-1 basically, right? Or you could just get the trust separately, like a la carte, basically, right? Life insurance is to protect you, yeah.
Wait, how do they get the trust for free? Just purchasing one product?
If they get a term insurance policy through Ethos, which is one of their providers, right? They have like benefits basically that you can get the trust for free. Yeah, so it's good, right? It's yeah, because the way to look at it is like Ethos, they're going to make the money off the insurance, right? And they probably have their whole team and their whole staff and their legal department that can do the trust for you as a benefit for being their client, right? You know, so a lot of options, guys, right? That's why it's good to just kind of know these things, because I think we got someone asked recently, right? Like, where can you get a trust, right? And now we have some connections. All right. Any other questions, guys, before we let Greg go and wrap up? Jose.
So question, Greg, do you handle IULs, perm, whole, and the whole gamut of insurances?
Yes, sir. Anything under that financial umbrella, we handle.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Good to know.
Yes, sir.
All of that stuff, guys. Good stuff, guys. Well, Greg, I want to thank you for coming on. Richa, one more. Go for it.
Yeah, please drop your contact and information in the chat box, please.
Yeah,
Got
I'll
you.
put it in Slack too, guys, right after. I'll send it to everybody in our Slack. But Greg, if you want to drop it there in the chat, and then I'll just copy and paste it in Slack as well.
Okay. In fact, I'll do it right now.
Okay, good stuff, Greg. Well, I appreciate you, Greg. It's good to see you, brother, and then looking forward to collaborating, and helping some clients out.
You too, man. Appreciate you guys. Good seeing you guys.
All right, guys. Couple more things. We got a few more minutes. I want to wrap up on a couple little talking points here. Was there anything on the mortgages, guys, that we want to touch on? Any updates on the mortgages?
Steve, you got something?
Steve.
I updated the rates. You can see the rates have came down a little bit. Just based on what Enrique was showing in regards to inventory, we're seeing more activity. I think it's just, again, going back to just informing your potential buyers that, hey, rates have came down a little bit. Let's see what you're pre-approved for, this purchasing power is. And just leveraging the loan officer in those conversations with you guys as the real estate agent, right? Even with our inside sales agents, what I'm training them to do is approach it from two places, right? One, we can set up a time to show you property, or let's say you don't need to see the property, but you want to understand the numbers, right? So I'm having them also set up consultations to see the numbers so that then our loan officer can bring it back to you guys, right? So I would recommend you guys using that approach as well. Like, hey, totally understand. Maybe you don't want to look at property. Well, hey, do you want to explore some numbers, get a pulse of what the market looks like, get a pulse of what your down payment, what your monthly payment would be? Let's get you on a 5-minute call with our loan officer.
Yeah.
Right? And we're seeing, by us doing that, guys, just from our inside sales agents, we're seeing them bringing some opportunity up for our real estate agents.
Steve, you got anything, brother?
No, and just keep in mind, guys, with the rates dropping, I would be reviewing everyone's clients once again, to make sure how much more of the buying power has increased as well. So we did get another improvement today. I did post in my social media some updates on rates, and kind of just letting everyone know that there's so many different programs. I mean, keep in mind, like, especially if you're looking like in the Gilroy, Morgan Hill area. I mean, some of that property can qualify for USDA, which is 100% financing, and you get lower MI as well. So there's a lot of different ways of how to set up a client. We just got to make sure we're getting in front of them and showing them all the options.
Absolutely. Guys, make sure you're utilizing the info and the updates on rates in your marketing, right? You don't have to be the expert, but I've seen some of you guys do it where you're saying, hey guys, rates are down. Here's what that means. And then you're, putting in some sort of call to action. Give me a call, if you want to connect. But use that info, right? Like, remember, we got to be the person that is constantly keeping people updated on what's happening with real estate, with mortgages, right? With where the economy is going, you know, be that resource to people. And then that's where the business will come, and it'll build from there.
And if you want me to tag you with the rate sheet that I sent, I mean, let me know. Just shoot me a DM in my Instagram or my Facebook. And what I would do is post that and then put a story behind it. So that's the best way to really leverage it. You know, you post that and then you get on and talk a little bit about it. So this giving you a talking point in order to be out there in front of your social media family.
Yeah. Great point, guys, right? Leverage what Steve's already posting and just share it, and then put your own verbiage on top of that, right? That's a great point also. But rates are coming down, guys. I mean, right? So no longer should the excuse be the rates are too high, right? That was an excuse at one point. Rates are too high. Yeah, rates are competitive. That's probably the lowest they've been in the last few years, right? So jump on it, guys. And right in the springtime when the market's heating up, right? So think about what's going to happen. Okay, couple other talking points, guys. We got 8 minutes. Couple things I wanted to go over. Our growth pods. I wanted to just clarify how to conduct the growth pod, just to make sure we're on the same page. And I also just wanted to reiterate the purpose of the growth pod, right? The purpose of the growth pod is to help hold people accountable to their 3 commitments each week, right? Now, we know, like, not everyone's going to have a perfect week. That's, you know, it's human nature. But if someone is consistently getting 2 out of 3, right, or almost hitting their 3, and you're creating that momentum and you're holding them accountable, what's going to happen to their business and to their life goals, right? They're going to continue to increase, right? They're going to continue to hit their goals. So I want to make sure that we're staying on track with how the conversation should be. And so remember, guys, the reason we have this format is so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just stick to the questions, right? What happens, here's the funny thing about accountability, right? Is sometimes people want to give a story, right? And not really go to the root of, hey, did you hit A, B, and C, right? So the growth pods and whoever's moderating, your job is to make sure there's no story, right? We don't want a story. We don't want an explanation. It's supposed to be real easy. These are the 3 things you committed to. Did you hit them? Yes or no? That's it, right? And so it's not meant to be like harsh or anything, but it's meant to really just, what's the word? Just stick to like the whole purpose of the growth pod, right? So that you grow, and people grow when they're pushed and they're held accountable.
It's a learned behavior, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it. Like this, what you're showing here is that we're learning this behavior. No story.
Yeah.
Just yes or no.
Yeah.
Right. And keep it moving, right? And then how can you improve?
How can you improve? That's it. So I want to do a quick role play with somebody, right? So who had 3 commitments this week that they are willing to share, or who wants to be my volunteer? All right, Matt. All right. So this is how I do it. So let's say it's Matt's turn, right, to go up. All right. So I'm the one moderating. Matt, what were your 3 commitments this week?
100 calls.
100 calls.
3 appointments.
3 appointments.
And
What was your personal?
hit the gym 3 times.
Hit the gym 3 times. Okay. So stop right there. That's very clear, right? 100 calls, 3 appointments, 3 times at the gym, right? That's very clear, because when it's clear, then you can build off of that. When it's kind of like, oh, work out more. Well, work out more. What does that mean, right? Does that mean 1 time, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times? So it's also important that when someone's giving you their goals, they're like measurable and they're attainable, right? Not just work out more. So we'll keep going. So Matt, did you keep your 3 commitments? Okay. So what got in the way?
Family trip.
Family trip. Okay. What out of the 3, which ones?
It was 100 calls.
The 100 calls you didn't hit. Okay. But you hit the 3 appointments and you hit the 3 times at the gym? Yeah. Okay. So you got 2 out of 3. Could you have kept everything if everything was aligned?
Aligned in one second.
Like, if all things were possible in this world, could you have hit all 3 of those if you really wanted to?
Yeah, I could have done better in the sense of time blocking.
Okay.
My calendar.
Okay. So what did you notice about like yourself with the time blocking and all that?
Time block.
You didn't time block. Okay. Okay, no problem, man. So this week, do you want to recommit to those same goals? Do you want to change them, or what are your commitments for this week?
We're gonna
Recommit to the same 3. Okay, excellent, man. Let's keep it moving. That's it, right? Thanks, Matt. Let's give it up for Matt. And then we're gonna give it up for Matt, right, for putting himself out there. right? And then we're going to move on to the next guy. That's all it is, right? But what I don't want is like, oh, well, what happened was, and this and that, blah, 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 because then it'll go from like a 20-minute pod to like all day, right? And then we completely got off track if he hit his goal, right? So that's the intention of the growth pod, right? It's just really clear, no hiding around the story. But then here's what's going to happen, right? Is that if Matt continues to show up like that, he now knows that, hey, I'm going to hold him accountable to his 3 commitments. So after a while, he's not going to be able to have a story, right? And that's where the growth happens, right? Because if I just let Matt kind of give me a story of all these things, he'll be able to just do that every single time. And he wouldn't have really benefited from the growth pod, right? He's not going to grow as much as if we just stick to the 3 commitments. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. What do you notice about yourself when I talk about these things? Are you like, oh shit, that's kind of hard? Or are you like, no, I'm up for the challenge? It's very motivating. Okay. Tell me why. I want to hear this.
But I've set up my commitments for the week.
Yeah.
With all other things, these 3 things I want to get done.
Yeah.
So then every time I come back to those things, I haven't done it yet, so I need to get onto it.
There you
But
go.
I'm focused.
You're focused.
Mhm.
I love it. That's the whole point of it. Now, here's the thing. It's also data, right? So let's say Matt might realize, we're using Matt as an example, he might realize, well, maybe I set my goals too high. So then Matt is going to commit to something that he knows he can execute, right? Because you know how it is. Sometimes we're all motivated and I'm going to do 300 calls, right? And you're like, when have you ever done 300 calls? Never, right? Or I'm going to do 10 appointments. And you're like, you haven't done 3 appointments in a week. Why are you starting at 10? So what's going to happen is through that process, he's going to realize like where he needs to push himself to something that he can hit, right? We don't want these outrageous numbers. We just want like 3 things that you can hold yourself to and you know you're going to hit them and it'll be a priority. 2 business, 1 personal, right? Does that make sense, guys? All right. I love it. I love it. Okay. Last thing. I got 2 minutes to give you this information. I want to be on time. Zillow Flex shifts. We're going to start the Zillow. We talked about Zillow Flex shifts. We're going to start implementing those on Monday, next Monday. So Jason and I are going to work on splitting up the group into an A and B. And then we'll put that out there just to make sure everybody knows what group they're in. And then we're going to do the 1 week on, 1 week off with Zillow, right? So just look for that this week. We'll put that out there. And then starting next Monday, the shift will go from Monday to Sunday. And then it'll start over again, Monday to Sunday. This way it gives you a chance to know, hey, I'm on this week, right? So now I got to get as many as I can. And then I'm going to be off the next week. Now I have time to make sure I work every lead that I got, right? And kind of takes away some of that pressure. Okay. See if I could do this in 2 minutes. So a spring plan of attack. I just want to leave you with this, right? As you guys leave the meeting today, I want you to start thinking, we've talked about spring, that spring is the opportunity, right? There's the low hanging fruit. So I got a couple just talking points real quick. So spring is not about chasing brand new strangers. It's about activating conversations that already exist. Remember, guys, we have a lot of people in our database that weren't ready, but they're now going to be ready in spring. Yeah, we're getting some new leads, right? There'll be new ones that transact, but you guys have a lot of people already sitting in your CRM that you could convert now into the springtime, right? So the momentum's building. So the agents who move first are going to win, right? Question?
Really quick, right now what you're saying is building the momentum and not new clientele. What I did on some of my buyer broker agreements,
Mhm.
I put a task when they were gonna expire. And I've had a few that expired and I revisited and I was able to activate those clients again.
There you go, right?
But if I hadn't done that, it would have probably just expired and I would have forgot about it if we just kept it in the nurture.
Yeah.
So maybe just set yourself little reminders when you know they're gonna expire and it pops up and kind of talking points.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? Because some of them we signed like last year and we forgot and they kind of fizzled out, right? We have a lot of clients that just fizzle out. So reactivating is the first point, which to Blanca's point there, right? Reactivate these people who say, call me later, right? Go back 90 to 180 days in your CRM. Every buyer who said, hey, I want to pause, I want to wait till after the new year, I'm just looking right now. Those are the ones that you should be contacting, right? Hey, a simple script. Spring inventory is picking up, just checking in. Are you still planning to make a move this year? Your goal is to re-qualify the timeline and then move them to the appropriate stage. If it's a now or if it's still a nurture, right? So I would start by reactivating those leads. Open house leads, guys. A lot of people are guilty of this. You go to work an open house, you got a bunch of leads, and then you don't follow up with them, right? A lot of agents are guilty of this. Look at the leads that came in 6 to 12 months ago. If you worked an open house 6 to 12 months ago, those are the people, there's going to be some people who never bought, right? Or who never sold, or the neighbor who was just looking, right? So you want to hit them up with inventories picking up, prices are shifting. Are you still looking, right? We met at an open house last year. Yeah, drop in the rates, right? Remind them of what's going on. So these people already raised their hand once. Most agents never circle back to them, right? So now is your time to circle back to those old open house leads that you got sitting in your CRM. Past clients, right? Spring triggers life changes, right? Because school, all these different things. So now's the time to make 5 to 10 calls per day or per week to your past clients, depending on how many past clients you have. That needs to be incorporated into your weekly routine to call your past clients, even if it's 5 or 10 of them, right? How's everything going? Do you know anyone thinking about making a move this year, right? Referrals, guys, are going to come from conversations, not just posting online, right? They're going to come from having those conversations, and then all of a sudden, oh, guess what? So-and-so is looking to do this. Why don't you call them, right? You can't always expect people just to hit you up. You need to be the one contacting them. Okay. Tie in your active lead list, right? If you have a lot of leads and you know you're not working them, stop claiming more leads. We talked about that earlier. Yeah, release leads that are just dead, right? Reduce your working list to your top 200 to 300 at most, right? That's even a high number. You want to categorize, right? You want to call them consistently and start categorizing people based off their timeline. So these are deals that are already sitting in your database, right? They're already there. You just haven't connected with them. Okay, a couple more. Partnering with your lender, right? We have multiple lenders on our team, right? Look at your pre-approvals from the last 6 months. I bet you if you guys have had consults with Steve or David or Jason, they could probably go back and like see pre-approvals that you got 6 months ago. And if by you sorting through those, you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I forgot this guy. I haven't talked to him. What happened? He phased out. He fizzled out. Those are the people that you want to prospect together. Even your lenders can get in on this as well. So you guys attack them from like a 2-pronged approach. So call these prospects together and then leverage each other's database. For our lenders on the team, guys, it's probably a good exercise for you guys to pull up those pre-approvals and just start sending them to the agents that you connected with. Okay, a couple more. Show visible momentum online, right? We talked about why it's important to post online, keep people updated on rates and stuff. You want to post consistently. What should you be posting? Market updates, strategy tips, listing activity, open house announcements, share your clients' wins. You're not selling, you're educating and staying visible, right? The spring buyers and sellers move with the agents they see are active. Those of you guys that are here in the office as well all the time, I would encourage you to get out of the office and go out and start touring some property, right? I see Tom in here all the time. I see some of you guys making content from here, which is great. But go tour a property. Show people what the inventory is like. Show people what you can get. Yeah, show people what you can get for 1.5 million right now, right? Question.
Showing the property to one of my clients, can I videograph or can I take pictures and post it online, or do I have to take a consent of the listing?
I would just do it, right? I would just do it, and you can tag the listing agent. Hey, listed by, at the bottom, listed by so and so. I think that's when agents get upset when you post their property. They don't get upset that you post them. They get upset that you didn't tag them and you acted like it was your listing, right? I saw someone post a property. I'm not going to say who it was. And then in the comments, someone's like, hey, isn't that so-and-so's listing? I'm confused, right? Because it wasn't their listing. It was a listing from this other office. But remember, there's a lot of egos in real estate. So as long as you give the listing agent credit, they want the credit, right? Just give them credit, right? Beautiful listing, right? Beautiful listing, 4-bed, 2-bath. Contact me if you want to tour it. Shout out to, Blanca's, on her beautiful listing, whatever it might be, right? Yeah. But
that's a good question, right? Enrique? Because I think, I know we're going over time, but I want us to remove any hurdle, right? Just do it. Just do it, right? What do they say? You ask for forgiveness,
Yep.
right? So I would say if you're out there, you have a super key, get out of the office, start looking at property, start getting comfortable using your super key and viewing property.
You don't even have to tag them, right? Because they may or may not be on social media. You can just write it in the description, property listed by John Smith, Coldwell Banker, whatever, right? But remember, most of the people that watch your stuff, they're not reading all those freaking details. You're the one who posted it. You're the one who's talking about it. They're going to contact you if they want more information, right? So just leverage that. Okay, so weekly execution standards is the last thing. Every week, guys, try to shoot for 50 conversations, right? Doesn't mean 50 appointments, but you got to talk to people, right? I know agents on other teams that are in my mastermind circles that their goal is 25 conversations a day, 5 days a week, right? That's a lot, right? But there are people that are doing it and they're also getting 4 or 5 deals in escrow every single month because the volume is just high, right? Shito, right? So I'm talking about per week, guys. If you're in your CRM and you're just having 50 conversations, you're gonna book appointments from those, right? 2 to 5 appointments a week, 1 open house minimum, 5 past client touches, 3 posts on social media. If you just do this and commit to this right here, your business will blow up, guys. And if you can do this consistently, it will blow up. I promise you, right? Spring is about.
If you don't have past clients, look at people that support your business.
Yeah.
Right? Business partners, family, friends. So if you don't have past clients, don't do that. You use another resource.
Yeah. Great point, right? You don't have past clients yet. You're newer. You haven't closed deals. Call people that you know.
Yeah, support.
Look in your phone book. Call the other people that you know, your friends, your family, the other business owners you know, the influential people you know, the person you used to work with, your old boss, right? They're the ones who are going to be buying and selling, or they're the ones that can refer you to other people. If you were in a previous industry, those are your contacts right there, right? And so you got to be all over those guys, right? So spring is about speed and consistency. Activate old conversations, follow up deeper, move faster than the market because it's going to move fast. Run the play, own the result. Yes, last question. I know I went over, guys. Thank you for your patience.
Like that property will be good enough for my client who's looking for around the same property. Can I go and take a look at that property when it is like do not show?
No, if it says do not show, that means do not show, right?
We can go and see as an agent.
No. Do not show maybe means that they're not showing it to anybody right now, right? Because maybe the client is still getting the house ready or there's tenants, right? So that's where you would want to call the agent and then try to see if you can get your foot in the door. But I love the aggressiveness, right? I love the aggressiveness. That's what you need, right? But call the agent. Sometimes they put do not show, but then you call them and they're like, all right, let me see what I could do. And they get your foot in the door, right?
Me individually, or I need to come here and say that, is it okay to ask for this much as commission, 1%, 2%, 3%?
Who sets the commission, guys? Help her out. You set your commission. Yes, you set your commission. We always encourage collect the highest commission available, right? What does that mean, Blanca? Highest commission available.
Whatever you can negotiate.
Yeah.
What's your word?
Why are we limited to 3?
You're not limited to 3.
It's great that you brought that up. There's no rules.
You're limited to what your commission, you could say, hey, I'm charging 5% for my services. This is what I'm gonna guarantee and this is the benefit.
Yeah.
I saw 3 everywhere and
Yeah, everybody puts 3. We try to shoot for 3 as a benchmark, right? But technically, there is no set standard commission. That's why the whole law came out, right? Where it's all negotiable. So.
And if you look at it, you maybe look at like mobile home, manufactured home.
Yeah.
They typically, it's a higher percentage.
Now, it's all negotiable, but I know they've surveyed like what commissions have been paid out in the area, right? And in our area, it's typically like 2.5 to 3%, right? It's around 2.5, but that doesn't mean some people haven't charged 3 or 4 or 2 or 1, right?
And we have on listings and stuff.
Yeah. So always try to get, what you're worth, guys. That's the thing, right? You're the one who sets your pay. If you're willing to work for less, it's a slippery slope, guys, right? Now, there are some business circumstances where you're like, me and Mark talked about one yesterday, right? Where it's like a $5 million listing and the guy's shopping around with he wants the cheapest agents out there, but he's also trying to buy another property after that. So I'm like, Mark, you may have to take a hit on the listing to win it, but then you're going to go help him buy a $3 million property. And then on that one, you're going to negotiate with the seller, right? So on that one, business decision, look at the total revenue for that deal, right? And decide, is it worth your while? So always crunch the numbers, guys. Yeah, case by case. Okay, we're going over, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. Hope you got some value today. Let me know if you guys need anything. See you later.